at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Hey, welcome everybody. We're doing another 2A media workshop. So every Tuesday and every Wednesday, or maybe Tuesday and every Saturday, we get together and open up a room like this. For now, using the YouTube platform, but we'll be exploring other platforms. And a couple of goals. One is to provide assistance, education, motivation, inspiration to people who want to create 2A projects of their own, 2A content of any kind. Another one would be to get people collaborating and working together who create content, and the audiences that are out there to know more about what's involved so they feel more involved, I guess, with it. And then finally, ideally, that we create resources that the gun owners' rights groups can depend on to further their messages out there. So I've been working with all different kinds of people and all different kinds of 2A media, and continue to send out links to them every week. And this is Tuesday, so we're back from SHOT Show. We missed both shows last week. We were in traveling, either on the road on Saturdays or at SHOT Show on Tuesday. So we're back on the schedule again and talked to a bunch of people, explained the projects to them, included them in the emails, and we'll continue to encourage them to join us. So anybody that's out there watching, this is an effort in interactive media. Like I say, we happen to run this on YouTube for now. It's our largest soapbox. As soon as we're able to, we'll run it on other platforms. And as part of the exploration of the tech we have out there available to us, and as well as like the tutorials on it, but mainly because YouTube isn't that great a platform, and be happy to move off of it as soon as we have good options. So we've got Night Strike joining us from South Carolina. Thanks for joining.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Been sitting in here for a while just listening to nothing, so I sent the links out maybe half an hour ago or more, and then we've been sitting here waiting for a bit. I've been moving some files around from my dash cam. I took dash cam from the way up and back from Vegas, so that takes a little while to move those files over. So we waited for that and then went live here. So this is a workshop. It's not a entertainment show, and it's not a scheduled show or anything, or I guess a show with a schedule or anything where an itinerary. So just an open format. You got anything you're working on to talk about, Night Strike, or?
I'm just working on the website, the server I'm going to use to do 2A web hosting.
Right on. So he's building a computer there, and I've got some stuff to do here. So workshop being what it is, just a place on the internet that we can get together and collaborate. But again, it's not designed to be a stage where we sit here and entertain anybody. See blind shooters out there, welcome. And Kingpin sitting around for almost an hour if he's still up there. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I guess he is. And then again, if you got any guys that want to say anything, looks like David is on the YouTube side, and I don't know, got some podcasts we can listen to here. You got anything to chat about? Otherwise, I'll start just playing a podcast, I guess.
Not particularly at the moment, but why don't we go with what you decided you wanted to go with first, and then we'll go after it.
Yeah, let's see. I haven't listened to Gun Freedom Radio in a while, so let's check out theirs. So a lot of times when I do these shows, I'm just sitting here by myself. So I got some okays from a couple of different people that do podcasts to listen to their shows. And we've got one that I really like called Gun Freedom Radio that I think I just did a video about them today, or at least it went live today. And let's see who they've got from what they're calling the Magical Mystery Tour of 2019 SHOT Show.
That's an interesting way of naming it.
Yep. So it's a reference to a Beatles album, and it's because they got sort of a random mix of people that they interviewed. I don't know how they did their SHOT Show. If they like had people in mind and made appointments prior, or if they just walked around and whoever they found they interviewed, kind of thing, or a little of both, or who knows. But definitely an interesting mix here. So, don't be
Absolutely.
saying. Guess I'll just hit the button.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Welcome to episode 146 of Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, we educate, and we inform. We are brought to you by azfirearms.com, your nationwide hometown gun shop. I am one of your hosts, Cheryl Todd.
And I'm the other guy, Dan Todd. We have a fantastic show today. We're at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas right now. And my checkbook is on fire.
Indeed, he is not lying. The SHOT Show, tell folks what the SHOT Show is, Dan.
It's everything you ever wanted and dreamed about. It's got every kind of gun, new products, ammo, fun people to talk to, everything.
Yes, so the 2019 SHOT Show is in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and that is the home of the SHOT Show now, right?
Right. It's put out by the National Shooting Sports Foundation, and they do this every year, and every year it seems to get bigger and bigger, and every year there's new products, and every year I have to get another checkbook.
So the National Shooting Sports Foundation are the organization that helps those of us that are in the business of the firearms business, so it's the business end. And so what they do once a year is they bring together all of the manufacturers, right, the developers, the researchers, there's a whole section of new products that they bring out every single year. And so it is an industry event. It's not open to the public. You have to be somehow engaged in the business of firearms. And because we have AZ Firearms, we're a retail gun shop, and because we're media now with Gun Freedom Radio, we get to come and enjoy all that there is here to enjoy. And so this show is kind of like a mystery show, because we know, and you know, we're at SHOT Show. I have a list of people as long as my arm that I'm hoping to connect with and talk with and bring you those interviews. But it is SHOT Show. So the little joke I've been making is, when you make a plan, it makes God laugh. And when you make a plan at SHOT Show, it makes everybody laugh, because there's just so much to do that it's hard for people to really, commit to an appointment or a schedule. And I'm as bad about it as anybody else. But the reason it's a mystery show is because we don't know who's going to be on, because I have some interviews already done, but other interviews aren't. By the time I've recorded this, and we're going to piece it all together, and I just need you to stick around. You will not regret it, because we've got some amazing people that we're going to be talking to this week.
Yeah, it's great. She's been so busy, I haven't been able to see you.
It's true, which isn't all that much different than when we're at home, but last night when we got done with, we had breakfast in the morning, then we had all kinds of meetings and interviews all day, and then we had an amazing dinner with, oh my gosh, such amazing people, honestly, grouped around a table, just sharing ideas from our area of experience and expertise. And so by the time we got back to the hotel last night, I had really no voice left at all. And then when I woke up this morning, we're recording this at the end of one of our busy days. When I woke up this morning, we were supposed to record this, and I flat out couldn't do it. I didn't have any voice.
That was kind of nice. Just for, a few minutes, but yeah, that's great.
So I've been talking to people. I've been connecting with people, and you've been down on the floor, or up on the floor. I don't even know what floors we're on, because SHOT Show is what, about 4 or 5 stories, something like that?
It's huge. You know what? They add a floor every year, it seems like. There's 5 floors this show. And, I've been trying to get hold of you, Cheryl, and I can't call you, I can't text you. So I guess it's just okay that I write all these checks. But, we need stock. What we do is, this show, it's a product that we're going to be, that I bought today, that's going to be all year long. We kind of have to speculate what's going to be hot, and we have to commit to these orders. So it's scary but fun. One of the great products that I brought today is a product called Streak. It's there are several calibers, but we've got 380, 9mm, 40, and 45 that has a glow on the back of the bullet. So when the powder ignites, it charges that glow. It's not a tracer, but you can see the bullet go all the way to the target.
It's glow-in-the-dark ammo.
Glow-in-the-dark ammo, and it works, and it's amazing.
It's beautiful. It's made by Ammo Inc. Yeah.
Yes, and so we made a commitment to that. We've got a big shipment of that coming in. I'm excited about it. That doesn't work in the daytime, or you get a fire in the daytime, but it won't glow in the daytime.
Yeah.
But what I thought about, say you're in your dark house, and you see shadows.
So blind shooters asking on the YouTube side if anyone is going to the National Rifle Association's annual meeting. Are you going to that one, Night Strike?
I was looking at it, and there's just no way for me to go up there this year. So maybe if they do it somewhere closer. But this year, Indiana's not on the books. I'm not even sure Tulsa's on the books. It's just that kind of year for me.
Step up your income game.
Yep. So.
Yeah, same here. I don't know if I can afford it. If I can afford it, I'll go. I'd like to see it. Indiana's cool. But
I've been to Indiana before.
Night Strike's from Indiana.
No. My mother and my grandmother are from Indiana.
So I don't know where Blind Shooter's at, if he's going or not.
Yeah.
Around it, it's people that's not to be in your house. You don't have to have a light on or anything because you see where the bullet goes.
It helps you self-correct because you get that instant feedback where you see where the projectile went, and so if you're off target, you can correct.
Yeah, nobody in the front of it can see it.
Right.
So it's only in the back. Or
the
behind
video is super cool. I encourage you to look that up. It's Ammo Inc. and the kind of ammo is Streak, and then there's also, I think it's called Night Force. Does that sound familiar? Is that the one that's the frangible round?
I didn't. You know what? I couldn't get past that, so I just look at the other ammo.
But that was really cool. And then you told me a little bit earlier that you bought a pallet of 22 ammo.
Yes, we've got a full pallet, and that's coming in next week, and we're going to have a terrific sale on that ammo, so stick around for that. And then I bought, and I don't know the manufacturer, and I'm sorry about that, but we'll be talking about it in other shows, but a credit card size .22 Magnum pistol.
Oh, wow.
It's a little
What
thick.
now?
It's thicker than a credit card,
Well, it has to be
but
for the ammo.
it's square, the same size as a credit card, fits in your pocket, and it's a .22 Magnum. We also have a .22 long rifle. Those will be coming next week. Another hot item, which I thought was super cool, is a conversion kit, a real conversion kit for your AK-47 to make it a .22 long rifle.
Oh.
You don't have to buy another gun. You can just put this adapter in the gun, and you can shoot .22 long rifle and save a lot of money.
Well, isn't that interesting that you just found?
You seen those things before? An AK-22 conversion? Since AK is 7.62 by 39, it requires a sleeve. So
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You'd have to have some sort of drop-in barrel or sleeve to facilitate shooting 22 out of that, because rifling and whatnot.
yeah, exactly. They're just,
The bigger the sizes of barrels, of course.
yeah, they just bounce around. So anyway, those things never really caught on. So I guess they're coming back again. We'll see how they work.
Bloody pallet of 22 ammo, and now you can turn your AR into a 22 to fire 22.
And a lot of the other stuff I bought, I don't want to talk about right now because I'm too close to Cheryl. But you'll get to see it in the store in a couple of weeks.
Oh my goodness. Well, as I said, this is kind of our mystery tour, right? Our mystery show for visiting SHOT Show 2019. But some of the people that we had a chance to connect with is Barb and her husband, Jason Baird. Now, Barbara Baird is the editor of Women's Outdoor News, The One, and I am so fortunate that I am part of Team One. I write a monthly article that appears in her magazine, her digital online magazine, and so we had a chance to connect in person. It's so great. I mean, we had a great relationship all the time, through text, through email, but there's just something extra special when you get to sit down and enjoy a meal together.
I didn't see Barbara there. I saw her husband there, but was Barbara there?
Oh my gosh.
Jason,
you're now in trouble because the two of you and Jason could not stop chatting.
Jason blows stuff up for a living.
Well, that's true.
And so it's like, how could I didn't, were you there, Cheryl?
Yeah. We didn't need to be there because you two boys were having way too much fun talking with each other. I did have a great opportunity to interview, and this was funny. Okay, one of the Benghazi warriors, right? His name is John Tig Tigan, right? So I'm interviewing him and Diana Muller, who is the founder of DC Project, because Tig is helping with a DC Project fundraiser. They're actually raffling off his partner spot in a competitive shoot.
Wow.
So I'm interviewing the two of them, and midway through, Diana finally says, Cheryl, maybe you should pronounce his name right. And so
you didn't pronounce his name right?
His name is Tigan, and I kept calling him Tegan. So that was one of my more shiny moments of professional media person.
You can just blame it on the busyness of the show, I guess.
I guess so. But there was no way to clean that up. We just kept on rolling. You'll hear that in the interview. I'm going to connect with Michael Sodini and Rafael Del Valle again from Walk the Talk America. Bill Romanelli works with the NSSF with Project Child Safe. Now, Project Child Safe gives away free locks for guns. Gives them away.
Oh my goodness.
So you could go to their website, Project Child Safe. Oh man, I didn't make myself a note. And like I said, this is a crazy week, but I think it's projectchildsafe.com. You can Google that. And it is, an incredible program because it is true firearms.
So it looks like Michael's asking who's on the panel. Like Night Strike said, it's just him and I right now. Got links out there to a bunch of people. And we're just listening to Gun Freedom Radio podcast over here, and I was working on some.
But hey, if you need gun locks, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Project South Safe. I think that it's a lot of money they're spending on a national campaign, and most of the billboards say stuff like, "You got them, keep them secure. Like you bought them, keep them locked up." And in other words, scolding us, the gun industry scolding itself, pointing a finger at itself and saying, "You better be good." And I don't think that's necessary. I think that we've got, unless I'm wrong, we've got less and less accidents and less incidents with negligence every year. And I think that they could spend the same amount of money and put those same billboards up. And instead of pointing a finger and having in front of everyone publicly the gun industry scolding itself unnecessarily, because it's not necessary, it doesn't work, and it's not necessary because we have a declining accident rate. I think instead they should spend that exact same money, put up billboards that say, gun accidents, lowest rates in decades. Thank you, gun owners, for being so good. Like, thanks to gun owners, accident rates are down, and they can pat us on the back publicly in front of everyone and make it aware that gun accident rates are on the lowest time, of all time, and that, they can take credit for it all they want. I don't care. But they could be patting us on the back instead of scolding us. I think it's ridiculous that our own industry is spending money to scold us when it's not effective and it's not correct. It's not accurate. We don't need to be scolded. Gun owners are super aware and they're getting smarter all the time. So I'm not a big fan of Project Safe or Project Child Safe. So giving away gun locks, it's already a law in most states. If it isn't federally because of the Child Whatever Act, that you have to include a gun lock with every new gun purchase, or at least through every FFL. There has to be a gun lock on every handgun, I think. So, it's almost law anyway. So they're
unless you buy it used.
Right. So what? So basically that's all they're doing is wasting a bunch of time and effort putting out gun locks with used guns. Again,
maybe they're in the pocket of big gun lock business.
No, I think they just are not questioned on it, honestly. I don't think they're out there to be dicks, or I don't think they're out there they sat down and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's scold gun owners publicly with their money. That would be great." I think they think they're doing a good job. I think they think that somehow this is effective, and who is not going to be pro child safety? It's ridiculous. So I just don't think they get challenged on it. I think everybody goes, yeah, sure. Nobody reads it. Nobody thinks about it and says, hey, we're just scolding ourselves for nothing. Like, no one questions it. That's why I keep questioning it.
Always ask questions.
So that's who's on the panel, and that's a little bit about why I said big deal about the gun locks, because Project Child Safe should be spending money elsewhere, I think.
Safety.
Well, I mentioned something.
Put out there by the firearms industry, because the other side, the side that wants to say that guns are bad and those of us that own guns are bad, they want to say that the only kind of gun safety is no guns at all, right? And we're saying, no, you can actually have guns and be safe at the same time. And it is projectchildsafe.org. I apologize for that. And so who else did we get a chance to see?
How about Larry Zanoff from Hollywood Weapons? That was a very exciting event there. We got to talk to him about some really cool episodes that are coming up and the cool stuff. Hollywood Weapons.
Yes.
I said that. Hollywood Weapons. And we got to talk to him about the company that he works for, ISS, International.
No, we're going to screw it up again.
Independent Studio Services. Yes, and I'm sorry about that, Larry, but they have, it's so great. And I was so excited. It's just like we could have had a 4-hour interview with him. But we did talk to him. And who else, Cheryl?
Well, of course, Maj Toure.
Was Maj there?
Maj was here. He's been speaking the last 2 years at this event. And today he spoke, and his speech was called Evolve or Die. We've got to be able to move beyond our preaching to the choir and really figure out how to engage other communities and people that don't speak this whole gun ease, you know?
Right.
So anyway, great show coming up. Please stick around. As I said, it's all a big mystery tour from SHOT Show 2019.
We won't have a Dan's commentary today because I can't be calm at a SHOT Show.
Good point. All right, lots of great stuff coming up. Stick around. Hey ladies, Cheryl Todd here from azfirearms.com. Many of us ladies are taking the important step of becoming responsibly armed, but it can be an intimidating process. And with all the politics swirling, a first-time gun buyer, whether a guy or a lady, might feel uncertain about where to begin and who to trust. At azfirearms.com, we are a small, friendly, family-owned shop that specializes in first-time gun buyers. We are staffed with knowledgeable people who are ready to help answer all of your questions. My husband Dan and I pride ourselves on having a safe, no-pressure environment. Once you have decided on a purchase, azfirearms.com partners with professional firearms instructors who will train you to become a
Yeah, see, Artisan Tony's out there. I got an idea for your. Oh, he left. I have an idea for your 2A fund, but I don't know if he's still there or not.
responsible, safe,
I don't see him.
and proficient gun owner. So
He
ladies
was on
and
Gun Channels
gents,
for a
when you are
second there.
looking for personalized service and a huge selection, come to azfirearms.com in Old Town Avondale off the I-10 and Dysart Road, or visit us on the web at azfirearms.com. Cheryl Todd here from Gun Freedom Radio. We are at the 2019 SHOT Show in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am so excited to have an opportunity to catch up with an amazing woman who I had previously only met in the interwebs, right, on our Instagram pages and that sort of thing. And it got to a point where we felt like we were already friends, and now we had a chance. Cookies. Yes, it was. It had me at cookies. And we have a chance to meet in person. This is Carrie Sloan. Carrie is the founder of We the Female, a nonprofit organization created to both empower and provide education about rights and responsibility. Carrie is a wife, a mother, and a successful entrepreneur with a diverse background in multiple business ventures, as well as being an accomplished public speaker. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Finding time. SHOT Show is like craziness. It's like everybody's on 80.
Yeah, this is a pretty crazy event. I've been to some pretty big conventions, but this is wild.
And this is your first
This
year.
is my first year, yeah.
And things had just gotten to a boiling point for you with the whole gun control versus gun rights, especially in your home state,
Correct.
Washington State.
Yep.
And you kind of came to this place where you're like, that's it. I have to really start speaking out. Did I hear?
No, Tony's in. Did you find it in email or in your on Gun Channels?
Tony's alive.
Oh, I found it in the Gun Channels.
Okay. So, yeah, I just did that thing. Well, you sent me 100. Is that me or you?
Let me turn it off. I'm sorry.
So you and a bunch of other people, a couple other people had sent me like $100 plus. And that got me to where I was like right on the border where like I could probably go to SHOT, but I, incurred like not paying some bills and things. So I'd come home to bills. And, but because people had literally just given me money, like your 2A fund just gave me money with no strings attached. I was like, well, I want to go and, take some of the lumps or whatever. I've done it before. So then Yankee did his thing, and then it turned it into a no-brainer because that brought in a lot of money. And it was 617 or something altogether people. And, I've witnessed things like that, but I've never been the recipient of something like that. So that's where I was thinking, wow, how neat would it be to organize that kind of thing on a regular basis or whatever. And that's where I started thinking, I don't need to rebuild a wheel. You have already got something sort of like that. So I don't know if you were planning on just taking your whatever, like the money you had been spending on the cricket pet project, or if you were looking to do it like as a collaboration where, like, I was thinking if you got 500 people together and they each put in $5, or let's say it's I guess it's 100 people, and you each put in $5. Now that would be 500. So you'd need, anyway, you come up with some number of people, and they each put in some reasonable number. $5 would be $60 a year. And so if you had, 1,000 people, I guess, if you could organize 1,000 people and have them each throw in $5 a month, and then each month there's a recipient of that, $5,000, like you're doing, no strings attached. Here you go. Thanks for doing good work. I just thought that was really neat, and I don't know if that's something you had thought about with it or not.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the website, I'm trying to kind of get that kind of thing going, but I thought maybe it would take, some time for people to see that, what we were trying to do and all that, get it going, and then people maybe would be more likely to do that. But I was going to ask if I need some more, nominees for February, because I was hoping to do it on the 2nd, to start announcing the supply drops on the 2nd. And you can see there that the people, what I was hoping to do is have either do it on Every Second Matters, or I didn't want to obviously do it on, take too much time on your show or whatever, but have a hangout, and the people that were contribute, or even people that don't contribute, if they have good ideas, just say, okay, this is the money we have for this month. Who do we want to inspire? Who do we want to give this to? So, yeah, the first thing that came to my mind, if you go to the nominee supply drop, or nominate, I'm sorry, down at the bottom, you'll see I'm keeping a list. Of course, we just started, so I'm the only person that nominated anybody for February. But the first person, the first organization that came to my mind was Gun Owners of America. But I'm trying to keep this grassroots, so I'd rather find people like you. You know what I mean? That's to me, that's the heart of what I want to do, is find people like you who are committing themselves to this stuff all the, many hours of the day, and try to inspire them to keep going. So I mean, I can give money to NRA and Gun Owners of America and whoever, anytime. I'm a member, so I feel like I already give them money. So I'd like to. The whole point of this was to try to inspire some grassroots efforts, or do exactly what we did with, the SHOT Show, was just try to inject. It's almost like I don't know, the supply drop kind of mentality, or the philosophies. You know what I mean? It's where I'm sorry, I'm trying to. I should have got
articulate.
I was trying to text my wife. She was the one that called me and talk at the same time. That's never a good idea. Sorry. But if you guys have any ideas, please, because I think it would be cool to do it on the 2nd of each month.
Yeah.
But yes, Night Strike, I do have sometimes a hard time articulating.
I was just teasing you.
I know, but it is correct. I mean, I want to be a guy. I don't need to stay.
I've got it too. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to be a speech guy. I want to be somebody who does things. So.
I don't mind giving a speech when I've actually got a speech to give. Otherwise, it just ends up as a rant.
So I just nominated Kevin Dixie's Aiming for the Truth, right? That's his project that came up from him just working with people he knew or met, or that were recommended to him, referred to him. And then he started to organize that into more of like a meeting as opposed to individual meets with people. And that sort of parallels his kind of whole theory on firearms training. So it's like an introduction to what does he call it, like equity in your life, so that there's something to defend. So you're not just thrusting a firearm or the concept of personal self-protection on someone who's not in a great place in their life. So he helps them get into a better place in their life and a family, kind of repair kind of a situation. And then once they've got something that they care about to protect, then they brings up guns and stuff. So bringing people into 2A in a very like solid way, and it's very boots on the ground. So that's the Aiming for the Truth project. That's in St. Louis. And then I put in 2A4E, so 2A for Everyone, is the other Tony, right? Tony from New Jersey. His project, which is also, I call it boots on the ground, you know, having actual workshops and bringing in like a diverse group of people who aren't necessarily catered to from firearms, typical firearms message, right? So it brings people into the firearms community, gives them some experience and some opportunity to shoot, and then you know, making the community bigger. Especially both these are like more urban than anything I'm familiar with, from the tactical land or even competition shooting. And very few of those are urban based. They're all like rural based, right? So that's the first two that came to mind, but I've got more. And then I'm thinking some projects out there you're willing to back as well. I mean, I'm not really a organization or a thing. I'm just a person doing stuff. So there's some people out there that are doing some neat stuff. Like, have you seen Riding Shotgun with Charlie?
I think I've seen one. Yes, I've seen one video. It's like a podcast, right?
Yeah, he drives around, has his cameras turned around, and he just drives around with somebody. I think he stole the format from somebody else, but he just talks to 2A people, and that's kind of cool. And as far as I know, he's not getting funded by anything. I've heard a couple of his podcasts where he mentioned it, but they were dated, like they were old. I don't know if anything's changed, but I mean, you don't want to throw money after something, like you say, that's already funded to the tune of $22 million or something, because that's not what you're trying to do. But I'm guessing you're open to those kind of options too, like people that are just doing neat projects that could appreciate, you know. And that's the thing, if you got people to help out, that was amazed at how, you know, 600 people turns into thousands of dollars. It's crazy. And you could easily set that up with like a PayPal where people throw the, you know, the $5 a month thing or whatever, and then, you know, you'd pretty much just have to gather it all and then do the one PayPal, you know, move it over to, you know, as a lump to whatever the organization is that month. Yeah,
that's what I do with the cricket fundraiser. I just have a dedicated PayPal, and that's.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's transparent. Anybody that wants to see, I can, you know, usually do a report. Like with the cricket project, I do a report at the end of it that shows me literally talking to the, you know, the recipient and transferring the money live with them, you know, while we're talking. And so it's it's transparent, it's open, you know. And that's the way it should be, I think, you know. But I had seen Kevin James and Tony. What was Tony's name?
Tony Simon?
The guy from New Jersey?
Yeah, Tony Simon. And his project was his project is 2A for Everyone, or Simon Says Train. His YouTube channel.
One thing I need is a programmer who can take, I'm trying to find an app or something that will take the nominees and put it in a little report, because I have to physically take the emails I get from that form and go put it on that table in that article. So it takes a second for me to edit it. So I need to.
What I do, just FYI, for stuff like that, when I don't feel like doing all that work to create something proprietary, I use Google, what's it called? Google Docs. They have a thing over there, which is basically a form, and you set up the form how you want, and then you embed it with a little piece of code onto whatever web page, and then you've got your Google form there. You've seen me use it a lot because it's all I ever use anymore. And then that creates a Google spreadsheet, and then it's just in a spreadsheet form over on Google Docs. It kicks it out to that, and then it can give you a lot of analytics.
But you can embed the results of the form on the same page.
I got to assume yes, but I haven't actually done that part.
That's what I want to do.
If you can't, because you wouldn't want to just let it go open, because then it would be a spam issue. But if you can't just automatically do it with a filter for spam, then you can copy and paste the stuff out of the.
I'll fuss at Night Strike's server administrator about the spam. I won't worry about that.
Oh yeah. Whenever I'm on night strike.
Well, as long as you spell my name right when you give me credit for something.
What are you talking about? Where did I spell it wrong?
Look at artisantony.com. You used an I instead of a Y.
Uh-oh. That's what makes it.
Oh.
Why? Because he's human.
So many websites to maintain. Good Lord. Artisantony.com. Where is it? Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah.
So I saw that the other day. I'm like, he does know it's a Y, right?
Night. I thought it was like you strike in the night.
It is, but it's just bad spelling. I couldn't get the I. Somebody already had the name.
I bet you meant my bad spelling. Okay, I got you. The other thing that I run into is that, and I know this is not help Tony with all his problems, Dave. But,
no, that's exactly what it is. It's a workshop. So we were for somebody to
no matter how many times Google, I have all my email addresses forwarded to Google, that it'll work for a few days, and then Google wants to blacklist my email server. So, but anyway, that's a different issue I'm kind of dealing with. I just want people to know that that's out there.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of all the Gmail stuff, but I've only had a few kind of weird glitchy issues over the years with Gmail stuff.
Like if I want to go get those emails that those people that you just nominated, I have to log into my webmail to get it because Google's, I'm pretty sure the people at Google are saying, nah, we don't like Tony's server, so we're just not going to accept the mail from it. Not sure about it, but anyway, didn't want to take up too much of your show, but I did want to hear what your ideas were on the nominees because I would like to start doing it on the second. I didn't know if it would be okay to, come on Every Second Matters and talk about it for a second, or if I just need to do a separate hangout or.
Either way, format. So anything that keeps to a interest and projects moving, that's what it's all about. So I think it makes a lot of sense to do it on a second. Let people nominate 1 month and then the funds go the following month or something. Like, you nominate today and then you vote on last month's nominations or something like that. You're thinking, or
yeah,
vote on it throughout the month or something.
Yeah, or take nominations during the month with that form, and then we can just look at the list on the second and then decide,
Have a show where people come on and petition, like a Shark Tank thing. Have petition the different things that they suggested.
Well, that's the other thing I was thinking was that the people, the previous person, maybe have them come on and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Like you're saying, Shark Tank. That's kind of fun. But, I hate to get, every time I seem to get organized with something, it seems to fall apart. So I was trying to keep this loose, So nobody knows what I'm talking about, but it's okay.
Well, it's definitely a thing, and now I'm trying to just brought back a whole bunch of stuff because as I was sitting there thinking about it, there's very few things that are formatted or structured that haven't changed over the years. Like pretty much everything lasts for a bit, and then for whatever reasons it changes, and then people dig the change, or changes again and again.
Change is inevitable.
Except for maybe Hickok's formula and I don't know, I haven't watched
of being old.
No, but he just shoots the gun. He shoots at his backyard, and he talks about the gun again. Like I don't think he's changed his formula in a while. And I don't know, I don't watch Nothing Fancy to watch if his videos have changed, but I know he had kept his formula strong for a while. But as far as video people and stuff, there's not too many that keep their formats consistent. It's about, like I say, over years. So anyway, who cares if format changes once in a while? Why not suggest to Tony to do like a quarterly thing rather than monthly or yearly? Well, he's not doing it yearly, and I think you are doing it monthly. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
So that you can get 12 plus you're doing it often, and it's quarterly would be barely talking about it 4 times a year. Tony's one of the original Every Second Matters. He understands the idea of doing stuff persistently, because if you wait around for people to be interested, it's either too late or you miss the boat, right?
Well, the whole concept behind Every Second Matters was really great. The one that you all came up with was, I mean, it's just, to me, it's perfect. Second event.
It's frustrating walking around SHOT Show, and there's different levels of people who know you or whatever, or known you for an amount of time, or different relationships with different people or whatever. So there's people out there that are like, oh, there's G-Webs, he's the Every Second Matters guy. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just did nothing. I printed some patches. Every Second Matters is people. Like, Every Second Matters is the concept that you get on the second of the month. It's not a thing. So it's always sort of frustrating when people want to, I don't know, like, oh, that's a channel or something. Or like, oh, that's an effort. Like, no, it's sort of just a campaign, just an awareness.
Well, I look at it as my tithe to the Second Amendment each month. So
yeah, it's like I don't know, just a little reminder, right?
Yeah, like I quit going to church a long time ago because I don't know, I got tired of the institution, but I feel like I need to. That's my way of tithing, because to me, security is part of that freedom, and we all need to be armed to secure that freedom. So to me, it's the same. I don't know how I tied the two together in my mind, but I did. So I look at it as tithing. So.
Well, we all perceive things differently. So, hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to create some movement. I'm just trying to have a place where I can remind myself to do it each month. I think it's fun.
And the consistency over the years allows people to have, real life happen and be interested and disinterested, and be able and unable, and have moods and swings and ability, right? And heck, it hasn't been around that long, but we've been around on the internet long enough to see people have kids and come back. Like, oh, my kids were real young when I first started doing this, and I could do it. And then when they got to a certain age, they didn't require time, and the internet took a back seat for years, right? And then once their kids are old enough and doing their thing, they're back on the internet. So, that's a part of it being a movement too, or being just a thing, not not like a show or whatever.
Okay. Out there on the YouTube side, there was a suggestion to you, Tony. John Z out there is saying, maybe it would be you'd be better doing the supply drop quarterly instead of like monthly or yearly.
We talked about that.
I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to do it monthly.
Okay.
Why? What?
Here, Tony, here's an idea. Doing it quarterly or yearly instead of monthly.
All right.
I don't know what's the advantage to that.
It's easier. Everything's always easier.
I don't want to give, like, I don't want to save up. I don't want a quarterly that would be $300, right, instead of $100 a month. Right. So I don't want to give too much to. I want to. It's like it's more like a pinprick instead of, you know what I mean. It's kind of like G-Webs with his $1 a month, on the Patreon accounts. It's not something that's going to change the world, but it is going to remind people every month that that's what you're doing. So
it's more like a vitamin than it is a booster shot?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully my budget will grow. After this year, I'll see. I was probably spending more than $1,200 a month a year on the cricket project. After I started thinking about it, it was, I bought 12 packs of cards from your website. So
someone out there, do me a favor and nominate GunTube.
GunTube, what are you doing? What are you doing for the Second Amendment? I'm just kidding.
What am I doing for the Second Amendment?
I'm just kidding.
The digital preservation of video content relating to firearms. That's what GunTube does.
That's a good, concise way of saying it.
I'm going to pay you as a consultant to help me with other stuff.
Harsh.
I need FFmpeg, and no, I need the live streaming set up. That's, remember?
Yeah, well, I sent you an email about that. So, if you ignored the email, that's not my problem, pal.
So you'll get yours. You just have to be patient.
I'm just being facetious.
No, I don't know. I mean, what would be the thing about it is, it's like if you do it monthly, there's going to be things that come up on the fly, like somebody needs, $100 for gas to get to Wanamaker or something. You know what I mean?
Right. And I could see where that would you'd be better off helping, people or projects that have those kind of situations. I understand that. I just, it's just, I can see where John is coming from. That way you have a bit more to give, but at the same time, you're also not doing it monthly, and obviously.
Well, the other thing is, I don't, I mean, some of these people are getting a pretty decent amount of Patreon money, whatever.
Well, there's a big difference between 4, if you did it quarterly, and 12, right? So, like you say, the money isn't necessarily the point; it's the promotion of it and the support, right?
Yeah.
But absolutely.
On the other hand, though, like I was saying, if you had a deal on there where you can join to a fund as a $5 level or a $10, make a couple of different levels, set up a PayPal subscription button, right? You just go into PayPal and you tell it you want a subscription button. So when somebody logs in and joins, just like when you go to Gun Channels when it's working, and you join for $12 a year, every year you get charged the $12. Then every month you get charged the 5 or the 10 or whatever, and then you add that to your $100 each month. And then, like, I for one would definitely be in on that. And I don't care what the organization is, because I know you're going to pick a good organization, but a couple of people might be like interested in helping determine that organization, or like on a board or a panel or something. And then I think could be a cool thing where you have an organization or a project, or like Night Strike's GunTube, do like a little presentation or a video or something, or have a live thing where you have Q&A with them, and then you nominate themselves or whatever to whatever you call that, speak to the board, and then you're archiving a little FYI video about the place, and then it accumulates like you're trying to do.
Well, so you can do that if you click on the donate button. It allows you to that particular code that PayPal gives you allows monthly donation.
Okay, perfect. You're already there. So yeah, I'm gonna throw $5 in, and then that's cool.
Thank you. Well, and you can see the little note under that says supporters help determine supply drops. So
yeah,
that's the concept. That's what I was hoping. I just didn't want to come out with this big advertisement. Hey, come give money. You know what I mean? I just want to.
You're doing it for a good cause, so why wouldn't you? I mean,
I want to show the example first. I want it to be something that people can depend on first, and then I think that's important. They want to come out with this big flashy opening, and then nothing happened.
You don't have to be flashy, Tony. You just have to be honest.
No, I'm always going to be honest. It's such a quick change. I mean, I literally decided on December 31st to.
We had a discussion about it before you decided, though.
This was 2afund.com. I didn't even buy the URL until like January 2nd or something.
Before you set it up, at the end of the whole cricket situation, we had a conversation about that.
Yeah, but I mean, literally, I got the URL one day, and the next day the website was up, and it wasn't much, but it was there.
I think it's a great idea, though.
So, but I like the targets I came up with. You need to. What I was hoping to do is have a little shooting contest. Not really a shooting contest, but a shooting event, and then the people that entered, I would give away the $100 that month, like in the spring or something. Have 1 month where, how many ever people take the targets, they make a video about 2afun.com, and then we'll have a drawing, and one of those people will win the $100. So hopefully I'll get 10 or 12 videos out of it.
So the Artisan Tony 2A Fund shoot?
It could just be the 2afun.com shoot.
Okay.
Again, this is not about Artisan Tony necessarily. But something like that. That's why I put the targets up. I was hoping that in the spring, when it got a little warmer, we're supposed to be 15 degrees the next few days. So,
ooh, that's rough.
I didn't think people would be too excited about it.
It's been in the 40s and 50s and 60s here.
I don't know. I didn't mean for this to turn into, talk about that, but I do appreciate the nominations, because, the nominations can carry over. I'll keep them on the forum, and then we can talk about, like you were saying, G-Webs can be sort of an archival list or whatever. What about what is Maj? What's his thing?
Black Guns Matter.
Black Guns Matter.
But there's a lot of people just using that by itself. So I think his are all branded the official Black Guns Matter, like on the different social media platforms, and I think even the website. But once you get to the website and see Maj on there, then you're at the right one. There's a couple other ones that are like Black Guns Matter, and it's just like an AR-15 or something. It's just different branding, but I don't know. He just probably doesn't have the resources to go out and fight them all.
Now, he's the fellow that Ghost interviewed in one of his videos, right?
Yeah, very similar to those other kind of boots on the ground. He'll go out and do some firearm safety, like in the hood or whatever. And then he does a lot of social media stuff where if like I don't know, some kind of celebrity that's anti-gun will say something, he'll challenge them on it in a way that, is authentic, I guess. So like, he can challenge them on it with not sounding like an outsider to whatever the conversation's about. And, he knows all the lingo, and he's from the places that they're from. So he does a pretty good job of combating some of the just garbage that comes out from these like hypocrites that'll, the same way that movie stars will be in movies about guns, all these musicians and shit will be in, or sing and do videos with guns and stuff, and then denounce guns or just talk stupidly about them. So he does a lot of like in your face type of advocacy, as I'd call it. But anyway, so his is Black Guns Matter, and that's Pennsylvania. So Pittsburgh, I guess, Philadelphia. I don't know. Pennsylvania. Probably Philadelphia. But then you got the Walk the Talk America. Been seeing that one too.
What is it? I'm having to write these down.
I'll put it in there also. It's Walk the Talk America, so WTTA. And that's the guy from Eagle Imports. His family's been Eagle Imports for a long time, so his family's been in the industry, so he was taking over the reins, I guess, at Eagle Industries and looking around, getting back into the industry or getting into the industry, and then met up with people who ended up coming at the mental health thing from the firearms angle, preventative mental health type of awareness, I guess, and advocacy or awareness, I guess. So they got like Rob Pincus and some others that are like on the board that really hit it hard and shot this year. And that's it's a nonprofit, I know, but I don't know what they need for funding. But if it's an awareness thing.
Sorry, I'm typing. So.
Hey, do what you got to do.
It's a lot of WTTAs.
Let's test. Yeah, I should be trying to figure out my software while I'm in the Hangout. But I'm downloaded a component for that's I use with that form on the website, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the results to show up below it.
Well, like I say, if you just let that happen automatically, then you're just going to get spam in there. I don't have like boobs.
Well, it's got CAPTCHA on it. I mean,
yeah, but I'm just saying somebody will write boobs in there and then it'll say boobs on your website.
Well,
we don't want that.
Yeah.
John Z's out there, so.
Well, I think I can set the permissions so that only registered. I guess if somebody wants to go through the trouble of registering on the website to say boobs, I guess it's okay.
All right.
But you're right. I guess I'm going to have to learn my lesson the hard way. But yeah, I guess I should just manually. It's not that much work. I'll just manually enter them to that table.
Challenge accepted.
Although I think seeing boobs on there would be kind of funny.
It would be.
All right, well, so we wanted to have a workshop every Tuesday, every Saturday, but we don't have to do a marathon, so we had the room open for a bit. We got a chance to talk to Night Strike for a little bit, listen to some of that show from Gun Freedom Radio, and then Tony jumped in and we talked about his 2A Fund project a little bit and just some other things website related. So unless there's anything else, I think we can wrap it up. And we'll be back on Saturday. I'll be sending out links again, so anybody that missed this one that wants to join in and develop your 2A project or your skills online so that we can do better and better getting communication and getting word out, then join us. Tony, you got anything coming up besides the project?
That's pretty much it for right now. You know how the website development stuff is time consuming, you know that. So
always. But on the other hand, it's like it's like riding a bike or something else. You know, once you've learned it and you get it down, it's unless you're constantly trying to cut new ground, it can get pretty easy pretty quick. And then it's just another tool that you've got, and it can be all about what the content you're creating again. Night Strike, anything coming up?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, so later this evening, we have Hit or Miss at Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern.
I guess I never miss, huh?
No, we don't. Also, check out guntube.org. It's the newer place to be for firearms videos.
The newer place to be? What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm trying to come up with cool and hip new words, all right? I'm trying to be hip with the kids, all right? God, that makes me sound old.
And then looks like we got the links out there for guntube.org and for 2afund.com. And John Z asked us to reiterate the fund info. Tony started taking the money he was using to fund his cricket project and decided to devote that to 12 different organizations or projects, I guess, throughout the year, and started at 2afund.com. I think that's the way to sum it up.
Yes, thank you. I think the next time I join a hangout, I should get out of the mode I'm in now and be more in the mode of talking about that project. Sorry about that. So.
Hey, no worries. So it's a workshop. That's what it's all about. Just a place we can workshop so that get the idea that this isn't all just a bunch of people that sat down with marketing firms and stacks of cash and ideas and it all comes out. It's all just people screwing around, playing with the internet, figuring out how things work, collaborating, and kicking some butt. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back on Tuesday for this show. I'm going to do a SHOT Show Bingo show on Friday. don't know if Clover's back with a show on Thursday or not, but you could always bug him about it because Thursday shows were pretty good. And then let's see, Night Strike said he's got a show tonight. Ghost has a show tonight. Does Ellis do a Tuesday show anymore? But just Monday now. Then we'll be on Daily Gun Show. Got a bunch of Wednesday stuff. And like I say, we'll be back Friday for the SHOT Show Bingo after Foul Territory with Jerry Gizzard.